The signal came without warning. Across every screen, every radio, and every communicator, the same cold voice echoed. Humanity must kneel before the Zyran Empire, or burn. On Earth, panic spread like wildfire. In the Great Council Hall, leaders argued, their faces pale. Some demanded surrender, others shouted for war. The threat felt real, and the countdown had already begun. Far from Earth, hidden in the shadow of a dead moon, the Black Armada waited. It was Earth's most secret weapon, hundreds of black warships, armed for battles that no one hoped to fight. Commander Reeves stood on the bridge of the flagship Vanguard, staring at the alien message repeating on the screen. His jaw tightened. He had seen the Zyran before. He had not forgotten what they did. An officer hurried in. "Sir, alien fleet detected. They're moving toward Earth, faster than our estimates." Reeve gave a sharp order. "Ready all ships. We move in 10 minutes." The deck buzzed with tension. Crew members exchanged nervous glances but worked fast. In the distance, the stars seemed calm, hiding the violence that was coming. A sudden alert cut through the air. A small recon ship, sent ahead, had just sent its last transmission. The message was broken by static, but one word came clear: "Colossals." Then silence. Reeves' eyes narrowed. Whatever the Colossals were, they were now between the Armada and Earth. He turned to his crew. "We're going to meet them before they reach our home." Outside the viewport, the first black warship slid from their hiding place, engines glowing faintly. Space swallowed their shapes as they vanished into stealth mode. Somewhere ahead, in the cold dark, the enemy waited, expecting Earth to kneel. But this time, Earth had teeth.
The Black Armada moved in silence. In the command deck of the Vanguard, dim lights cast long shadows across tense faces. Every officer knew the risk. They were going to meet a fleet that outnumbered them, maybe 10-1. On Earth, fear was growing. News channels spoke of the alien demand on every broadcast. Families gathered in their homes, whispering prayers. The countdown to destruction ticked down, second by second. In orbit, a secret meeting took place. Leaders from Earth's nations argued over a secure channel. Many wanted to negotiate. "We can't win against a power like this," one voice said. "Surrender, and we might survive." But Commander Reeves' voice cut through the chatter. "Survival without freedom is not living. If they take our skies today, they will take our soil tomorrow." There was silence after his words. Even those who doubted knew he was right. The Black Armada's captains joined the call. Holograms flickered, men and women in dark uniforms, each commanding a deadly warship. They discussed the alien fleet's movement, scanning data from the last recon. What they saw chilled them. The Zyran ships were enormous, almost alive, with strange glowing ridges running along their hulls. Reeves studied the formation. "They want us to see them coming. It's intimidation, but they've left a gap here." He pointed to a cluster on the tactical map. "And that's where we strike." The plan was simple, but dangerous. Draw part of the alien fleet away from Earth, then cut through their weaker side. But before the Armada could move, the alien signal returned, this time louder. The voice of the Zyran commander echoed across all channels. "Humans, time is almost gone. Kneel now, and you will serve. Refuse, and you will burn with your world." Reeves stood motionless, eyes fixed on the dark beyond the viewport. Then he spoke, calm but cold. "We don't kneel." Engines roared to life. One by one, the black warships broke formation and streaked toward the stars. Far ahead, the alien fleet turned, as if it already knew the humans were coming.
The Black Armada raced through the void, their engines a silent fire against the endless dark. Each ship ran cloaked, invisible to most sensors, but the crew still felt exposed. The enemy was out there, somewhere ahead, and every passing second brought them closer. Commander Reeves stood at the center of the Vanguard's bridge, eyes fixed on the holographic map. Small blue lights marked the Armada. Far ahead, red markers flickered, alien patrol ships moving like predators through the dark. A voice crackled in from the lead scout. "Contact. 3 Zyran vessels, light cruisers. They're moving to intercept." Reeve didn't hesitate. "Engage. Fast and clean. No survivors." The first clash happened in utter silence. Human missiles streaked through space, followed by bursts of white light as alien shields broke. The Zyran fired back, beams of green energy slicing through the black. One human frigate took a direct hit, its hull breaking apart like paper. "Frigate Orion lost, sir," an officer reported. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled. Reeves' jaw tightened. "Keep moving. We can't let them slow us down." The battle lasted less than 5 minutes, and when it was over, the alien ships were nothing but drifting wreckage, their glowing ridges dimming to black. But the victory brought no relief. The scout ships pressed on, scanning deeper into enemy territory. Suddenly, one of them found something. The transmission came in bursts of static, but the words were chilling. Massive shapes, like cities, moving. The feed cut out. On the holographic map, new red markers appeared, dozens of them. The alien main fleet was far larger than expected, and leading them was something different. Colossal warships, each the size of a small moon. A low murmur spread across the bridge. Reeves spoke, his voice calm but sharp. "We found the Colossals. Now they know we're here." As if in answer, the alien fleet shifted course, speeding toward the humans. The trap was closing. The Colossals filled the darkness like moving mountains. Their surfaces glowed with alien light, shifting in strange patterns, as if the ships themselves were alive. Smaller Zyran warships swarmed around them like insects, ready to protect their giants. On the Vanguard's bridge, silence hung heavy. Every crew member stared at the sensor readings. The numbers didn't feel real. These ships were beyond anything humanity had faced. "Sir," the tactical officer said quietly, "if we attack head-on, we won't survive." Reeves studied the display. "We won't attack head-on. We'll cut their escort apart first, fast and hard. Then we hit the giants' weak spots." The order went out. Black Armada ships broke into strike formations, diving in from multiple directions. Missiles and railgun fire lit up the void. The smaller Zyran ships rushed forward to meet them, energy beams flashing like silent lightning. A human destroyer took a hit to its engines and spun out of control, vanishing into the shadow of a colossal. It never came out. "Focus fire," Reeve commanded. "Make them bleed." The Armada's weapons tore through several alien escorts, their hulls exploding into bright fragments. For a moment, it seemed the humans could push through. Then, the Colossals moved. From the center of one massive ship, a ring of light formed. It pulsed, once, twice, and then unleashed a beam wider than the Vanguard itself. 3 human ships vanished in a single blast, their remains scattering like dust. Gasps echoed through the bridge. "They're targeting our core formation," an officer shouted.
Reeves' mind raced. If they stayed, the entire Armada could be wiped out. But if they ran, Earth would be defenseless. He made the call. All ships, pull back to coordinates Delta 5. We draw them away from Earth. As the Armada turned, the Colossals followed, their glowing ridges pulsing brighter, as if they were eager for the chase.
The Black Armada sped through the darkness, engines burning at maximum. Behind them, the Colossals and their escort ships followed like predators, matching every maneuver. On Earth, alarms echoed across the planet. Massive holographic warnings filled city skies. Zyran fleet approaching. Seek shelter immediately. People poured into underground bunkers. Children clung to their parents, trying to stay silent as soldiers moved them deeper underground. In Earth's orbital defense station, Commander Lyra watched the tactical display. The Armada was drawing the alien giants away, but smaller Zyran squadrons had split off, and they were headed straight for Earth. "Shields at 60%, a technician shouted, as the first wave slammed into the orbital defense grid. Blue energy fields flared bright, struggling to absorb the impacts. Lyra's hands tightened around the command rail. "Hold the line. Buy Reeve more time." Far from Earth, on the Vanguard, Reeve studied the chasing Colossals. His plan was risky: lure them into an uncharted asteroid field where the Armada could hide and strike. But every second they spent running was a second Earth's defenses bled away. "Status on our people back home?" he asked. An officer replied grimly, "Shields dropping, 45%. Multiple civilian areas exposed." Reeves' jaw hardened. "Faster. Push the engines until they melt if you have to." Back near Earth, the orbital defense grid fired relentlessly. Huge beams of energy speared through Zyran ships, but more kept coming. A civilian transport, too slow to reach safety, was caught in enemy fire and disintegrated in a flash. In the asteroid belt ahead, the Armada scouts moved quickly, planting charges and mapping safe lanes. The trap was almost ready. But then, a chilling update came through. "Sir," the communications officer said, "the Colossals, they're accelerating." On the viewport, the massive alien ships began to glow brighter, their strange patterns shifting into something like a warning. They weren't just chasing anymore. They were preparing to strike. The asteroid field loomed ahead, millions of jagged rocks drifting through the dark, some as small as shuttles, others as big as cities. The Black Armada plunged into the maze at full speed, engines weaving between spinning debris. Commander Reeves' voice was calm, but his orders came fast. "Scouts, trigger the charges. Heavy ships, find cover. Keep all weapons cold until I give the word." Hidden among the asteroids were hundreds of explosive mines, planted minutes earlier by the Armada's fastest ships. Each mine carried enough power to cripple even a Colossal, if it hit the right spot. The Vanguard slipped behind a massive asteroid, its hull dark, engines quiet. All around, other Armada ships vanished into shadows, becoming invisible shapes among the drifting stone. Moments later, the Colossals entered the field. They moved slowly at first, their glowing patterns scanning the rocks. But then, as if sensing prey, they pressed deeper in, their escorts following in tight formation. Reeve waited. His crew barely breathed. A small alien frigate drifted close to a hidden mine. The moment it touched the field, the mine exploded. White light flared, tearing the frigate apart. Shards of metal tumbled through the void. "Now," Reeve said. Every hidden mine lit up in a chain of thunderless fire. The asteroid field erupted, debris and shockwaves smashing into the alien formation. One Colossal took a direct hit to its lower hull. Its glowing patterns flickered wildly. "Damage confirmed," an officer shouted. "Hull breach and target." The Armada broke cover, unleashing everything:
missiles, railguns, energy beams. The smaller alien escorts were ripped apart in seconds. But the victory was short-lived. One colossal swung its massive bulk and fired. The beam struck an asteroid, shattering it into a storm of deadly fragments. A human cruiser was caught in the blast and torn to pieces. Another colossal's glow changed to deep crimson, a sign, Reeve guessed, of anger. And then came the worst news. "Sir, long-range scans show reinforcements. Dozens of ships. They'll be here in minutes." Reeve's eyes narrowed. The trap had worked, but it wasn't over. It had only awakened the giants.
When the light faded, Captain Rhine found himself standing on the bridge of a ship, but not the Iron Vow. The room was larger, older, and filled with unfamiliar technology. The crew around him wore armor of an ancient design, their faces human, but harder, sharper, as if carved by war. Through the massive viewing window, he saw a galaxy burning. Entire fleets clashed in the void, their weapons tearing planets apart. Strange banners flew among the stars. None bore the symbol of the current empire. A figure stepped forward, clad in black battle armor with a golden crest. His eyes burned with intensity. "I am Admiral Carr of the First Human Empire," the man said. His voice carried both pride and sorrow. Rhine's mind raced. The cube in his hands pulsed in time with Carr's words. "Why show me this?" he asked. "Because history is about to repeat," Carr replied. "The signs are here: corruption, greed, the same mistakes. If you wish to save your people, you must choose a side. Take the cube to the coordinates it shows. If the Empire follows, they will face the Phantom Fleet." The vision began to blur, the battle fading into mist. Carr's final words echoed in the void. "Remember, Captain, ghosts are not always dead." In an instant, Rhine was back in the tower chamber, the cube still glowing in his hands. And outside, the ghostly warship waited.
The ruins of the Zyran supply hub still drifted behind them, glowing faintly in the starlight. The black Armada limped away, battered but victorious. The crew felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps, finally, the war could be won. Commander Reeves stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, reviewing the damage reports. Ammunition was dangerously low. Shield reserves were at 30%. They had one shot left at the alien command ship, and no room for mistakes. A private channel request blinked on his console. It was Captain Varric of the Ironclad, one of the Armada's most respected officers. His voice came steady but strange. "Commander, I have new intel on the alien flagship's position. It's moving through the Veil Nebula. If we strike now, we can end this." Reeve didn't hesitate. "Send coordinates. All ships. Prepare for junk." The Armada entered the nebula, glowing clouds swirling around them. Visibility dropped. Static crawled across their sensors. Something felt wrong, but the lure of ending the war drove them forward. Then the trap closed. Dozens of Zyran warships emerged from the fog, their weapons already charged. At their center floated a colossal, its hull scarred but still deadly. The Armada's formation shattered under the first volley. A human frigate exploded. Another was crippled in seconds. On the Vanguard's bridge, an officer shouted, "Sir, the Ironclad, it's not engaging the enemy." Reeve's heart sank. The Ironclad turned, its weapons firing, not at the Zyran, but at the Vanguard. The betrayal was complete. Varric's face appeared on the comms, cold and unshaken. "Humanity cannot win. I chose the winning side." Before Reeve could respond, another blast rocked the Vanguard, sparks raining down. The enemy was closing in fast. "Get us out of here," Reeve ordered. The remaining Armada ships fought desperately, carving a path through the ambush. They escaped the nebula, barely. Many ships were gone. Trust had been shattered. And the alien command ship still lived. Reeves swore under his breath. Varric will pay. But first, we finish this war.
The Black Armada returned to find the war had reached Earth's doorstep. From orbit, the planet glowed with scattered fires where smaller alien raids had struck. Above the atmosphere, the remnants of the orbital defense grid floated in ruins. Reeves stood at the Vanguard's forward viewport, watching alien warships move into attack positions. At the center of their formation loomed the Zyran command ship, towering, black and silver, its hull alive with shifting patterns of light. The Colossals were gone, but this ship was worse. It was the mind of the invasion. "All ships, form a defensive ring," Reeve ordered. "We hold this line or Earth burns." The Armada tightened formation, damaged ships sliding into the gaps to shield the weaker ones. From the ground, civilians watched as streaks of light crisscrossed the night sky, human weapons firing upward, alien beams raining down. The first wave hit hard. Alien fighters swarmed through the formation, strafing hulls with green fire. A destroyer exploded beside the Vanguard, its wreckage scattering across the battle line. "Shields failing on Sector 4, an officer called out. "Redirect power, keep them up," Reeve barked. The Armada fought fiercely, ships trading blow for blow with the enemy, but the Zyran command ship barely moved, absorbing damage like it was nothing. Its weapons pulsed with terrifying precision, each blast carving through another human vessel. In the chaos, Reeve spotted an opening. A brief power fluctuation rippled across the alien ship's hull. "That's it," he muttered. "All ships, focus fire on Sector 9. Every remaining cannon, missile, and railgun turned on that single point. The alien shields flickered, then cracked. A hole opened, exposing the command core. But the victory came with a cost. A massive energy blast from the command ship struck the Vanguard directly, sending the bridge into darkness. Through the smoke, Reeves steadied himself. "Get me targeting. We finish this now." The Armada's last desperate strike was about to begin.
The Vanguard limped through the wreckage-strewn orbit, shields flickering and engines sparking. Reeve gritted his teeth, gripping the command rail. The Zyran command ship loomed above, massive and alive with pulsing energy. This was the heart of the enemy fleet, the final target. "Prepare boarding teams," Reeve ordered. "I'm going in myself." Elite soldiers fastened their harnesses, magnetic boots clicking as they moved toward the airlock. Outside, the void stretched infinitely, alien fire streaking past in brilliant arcs. The Vanguard launched a boarding shuttle, slicing through debris and enemy fire. Inside the command ship, darkness enveloped them. The corridors twisted unnaturally, lights flickering. Strange alien symbols glowed faintly on the walls, pulsating like a heartbeat. Reeves' pulse quickened, but he forced himself to stay calm. Every step forward was a step closer to ending the war. The crew moved silently, eliminating guards with swift, silent strikes. Yet every turn revealed new horrors: massive energy conduits, alien soldiers with reflexes beyond human, and corridors that seemed to shift as if the ship itself was alive. Finally, they reached the core chamber. At its center floated a massive orb, the alien command network pulsing like a living sun. Reeve activated the explosive strapped to the hull, but before they could detonate, the orb shifted, projecting a holographic form of the Zyran commander. "You are brave, human," it hissed, voice cold and piercing, "but bravery will not save you." Reeve's soldiers fired, but the orb repelled all attacks with a shield of light. Thinking fast, Reeve leapt, attaching the last charge directly to the orb's containment field. A blinding explosion erupted, shaking the ship. Alarms wailed, energy streams tore through the corridors. The Zyran command network collapsed, sparks raining like fireflies. Outside, the remaining alien fleet faltered. Without their core, they scattered. Humanity's survivors cheered as the Black Armada rallied, battered but victorious. Reeve gazed at Earth below, glowing under the sunrise. For a moment, relief washed over him. The war was over, or so it seemed. A distant pulse flashed in the stars beyond, a silent signal no one had noticed. Something watched, something bigger. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the real test had only just begun.